So tonight we are going to be talking about temptation by Satan. In Genesis 1:1, the Bible says that in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. God put Adam in the Garden of Eden. Then Adam wanted a mate, so God gave Adam his wife, Eve. God said that they could eat of every tree in the garden. God gave Adam control over the animals. He named every one of them. God said that they could eat of every tree in the garden except of the tree of good and evil. They were listening to God until Satan came and tempted Eve to eat of the fruit of the tree of good and evil. Let's turn to Genesis chapter 3 and read verses 1 through 9. It says, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit therefore, and did eat, and also gave unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them were both opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam, and said unto him, Where art thou? So she ate of the tree, and talked Adam into eating of the fruit. Adam ate of the fruit, and God was looking for them, even though he knew where they were. God knew what they did and punished them for what they did. Now let's turn to Matthew chapter 4. Let's read verses 1 through 11. Then Jesus was led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, his angels, and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels to charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear up thee, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Jesus said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Again the devil the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Jesus unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. And the devil leaveth him, and behold, the angels came and ministered unto him. So Jesus was led up into the wilderness by his Father, or God, to fast for 40 days and 40 nights. Satan tempted Jesus and told him to turn stones into bread if he was Jesus. And Jesus said to Satan, As it is written, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Then Satan tried again, and took Jesus to the top of the temple, and said, If you are the Son of God, jump down, and the angels will always look after you and save you. Jesus said, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Satan tried another time, and took Jesus up to a very tall mountain, looking over all the kingdoms. Satan said, I will give you all these kingdoms if you bow down to me. And Jesus replied, saying, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Then Satan left him, and behold, the angels came and ministered unto him. Now, is that cool? It's amazing that Satan just left him, and the angels came and ministered to him. Even though you get tempted by Satan, you can resist it by praying, reading the Bible, quoting verses, and you can go to Christian friends for help. If you compare Jesus and Adam and Eve's temptation, you will see that they started the same, but Jesus did not give in. Adam and Eve gave in and had to die later on because it was their punishment. Giving in to temptation is a sin. If you're only tempted and don't give in, it's not a sin. Being tempted is not the sin. You giving into temptation is the sin. When you are a baby, you have 300 bones. As you get older, some of your bones grow and start to connect. When you're grown, you have 206 bones. Think of a baby's head and how the bones are not connected. Because they are not connected, they have soft heads and they're fragile like glass. That is like when you have wandered away from Jesus. You're fragile in spirit when you are a Christian and have wandered away from the shepherd. When the baby gets older, the bones connect to get stronger. That is like when you have come back to the shepherd, you go stronger in spirit. Let's turn to James 1, 2 through 3, and verse 8. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Sometimes you will be tempted, and it will be hard, and it will test your faith. But not giving in will make patience grow in you. A double-minded man is like someone who believes in God, but gives in to their temptations. So you should always be patient. When you are not patient, you wander away from God. You should always try to stay close, even though it might be hard. You should always persevere through the temptation and be patient. When I was little, I wanted a cookie, but my mom said no. So I kept thinking about it, and Satan kept tempting me to take it. And I kept thinking about it, and God kept telling me, don't take it. So I listened to God and didn't take it. You should always listen to God. Jonah was someone who didn't listen to God, and God punished him. God told Jonah to go to Nineveh. Jonah was scared to go to Nineveh, so he disobeyed God and went on a ship. It started to storm really bad, so the men started to throw supplies and food overboard. Jonah said to the men to throw him overboard, and they did. As soon as he got under sea, the storm calmed, and Jonah was in the belly of a giant fish. He spent 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the fish. Jonah was punished by God for not going to Nineveh by being put in a giant fish. Jonah prayed to God and said he would go to Nineveh like God said. He got spit up on land, and God told him to go to Nineveh, and he went. Always listen to God and obey him. As fun as temptation may be, you have to persevere through it and don't give in. When you give in, you have consequences from God. When you don't give in, you don't have consequences, and you gain patience, and God rewards you. Satan will always tempt you. Don't give in. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you